7:41 here on this Friday morning, and it's time for Friday the Fuzz. First, let's go over the passwords real quick. We had big, swing, square, partner, and break, and the super password was...
Any guesses?
Oh, I wasn't paying
attention. Keen powers of observation from the police.
Big, swing, square, partner, break.
No.
Super password was dance.
Dance.
Big dance.
Oh. The swing is a dance, square dance.
And people were saying that was easy.
Yeah.
Did
we get it wrong?
We had one wrong.
Who was it?
It was David gets jail.
Jail.
Morning, David. Thank you for your wrong guesses. We always appreciate them.
We always need something. We always need something to go with the wrong guesses. All right, now I'll toss it over to Michael Green. He's got Friday the Fuzz.
Thank you, Derek. In the studio with us today is Elgin's Chief of Police, Jeff Sabota, who you heard wrongly guess, or given no guess, and also Officer, Sergeant. Sergeant. That's got to be new. Yes. Todd Brammeljack. Thank you guys for joining us. Jeff, I'll just kind of throw it to you. Maybe just kind of give a quick capsule of the week, highlighted by the promotion ceremony you had, and then we'll sit back and just let Todd go.
And we'll let Todd go.
That's what he does.
That's what he does, right?
Yeah.
He's brought his speech.
Do that well, yes. Prepare a few things here, if you don't mind.
I guess it was 2 weeks ago on a Friday that we had our annual awards. So we did all of the awards and yearly for the police department, and also, we had the Officer of the Year, Supervisor of the Year, Civilian, and one of the Rookie of the Year. And then after that, we had a little bit of a break and came back and did the promotion for Todd Brammeljack. So I'll talk a little bit about himself, but then Todd's been out at ECC for the last few years. Before that, he's been a lot of things. Been a detective, financial crime, so I figured he could talk a little about that. But now he's on the night shift, and as part of that, we're really expanding what we're trying to do with social media and with our Facebook page. And Todd is going to allow Christy to take some nights off and actually sleep. And he will actually be doing the Facebook over midnight hours. So he did one over tonight's hours, and people were even already commenting that, wow, you guys are updating your Facebook page at 2 in the morning. So it'll be great having Todd on board and getting more information. And then lastly, we're going to start putting it out we have some community members who are very good with photography and are interested in photography. So we're going to be letting them... giving them more access to some of our scenes so we can get some more pictures out there so people can see when things are going on in the city and get it out to the rest of the city. So kind of leveraging people who have a passion for photography and then getting that with our Facebook page so that they can help us get more information out. So kind of our vision of the Facebook is to continue to grow, and I think a lot of people are liking what we're trying to do with the Facebook page, so that's great. And one of the things that was interesting, we were talking about it a little bit off air, last night I was at the Image Awards, fantastic event, packed house at the Heritage Ballroom. And somebody said, I love your Facebook page. You guys need more positive stories, And it was good to hear that, because sometimes Christy and I were talking, we feel like we're almost doing too many positive stories, and so it's kind of feast or famine with positive stories or
throw too much fluff out there.
Or we're still, and so it was just good to hear, to kind of center us a little bit and realize that sometimes you think we may think we're doing too much of one or not the other. So it was just some good feedback. So. With that, I won't take any more time, but Todd Brammeljack, and let him introduce himself and talk about some of the things, and then what's going on in the midnight shift. It's a great shift right now. Adam Schuster running it, and Todd is sergeants, and a lot of great officers working over the night hours. Most people are sleeping, including myself most times, and Todd's out there keeping the streets safe. So,
well, welcome. Thanks for joining us, Todd.
Thanks for having me today.
If you could, a little bit about yourself, how long you've been with the police department, what some different posts you've held, and... That'd be great, and then just kind of what your plans for midnight are.
I've been here at the Elgin Police about 13 years. I've been to police 17. I started out in Elmwood Park in 97, and it came over here in 2002. It's been great. I spent some time in major investigations as a detective for a few years, patrol, a couple different shifts. I was a NOPE officer, neighborhood officer for a while, and then I went over to ECC as the school resource officer. They have their own police department, but we worked pretty closely together. I reported there every day and worked with that group, great group over there, police officers that they have to make sure they kept the campus safe. And just got promoted 2 weeks ago. I'm pretty excited about it. A little rough to sleep.
Just a change.
Oh, yeah. I'm struggling a little bit, but I'll get there. It's been a while since I've had to work the midnight shift, but great group. We're out there every night, and time's been kind of going by pretty quickly. So
Family, kids?
single, no
Okay.
kids. Yep.
Might make overnights a little bit easier.
Makes it a lot easier.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about it. You know, I pretty much have some flexibility with my sleeping schedule. I can sleep whenever I want, so it does make it easier to definitely get acclimated to the shift. But sleeping during the day is a little rough, no matter what you got going on.
There's a lot going on.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Yeah. But night, I was just talking today how fast the night goes by. I mean, before I even knew it was 6 o'clock today. So it's good. We got a great group. I'm really looking forward to learning from everybody on the shift. I have a lot to learn from even the newer officers to the seasoned officers that are there. I've worked with a lot of them already over the years, and it's going to be real good.
So it's been 2 weeks overnights.
Yes.
What, at first blush, what's the biggest difference that you feel already overnights compared to second shift or
Yeah, working with the officers on the second shift. I mean, every shift has kind of their primary thing that they work on. We have a lot of there's actually some traffic crashes that are going on, and some of the issues with people out at night, some burglaries that we've been trying to that we work on. So it's trying to be proactive in what we're doing, getting undercover cars out there to patrol the streets and stuff and try to catch the burglaries, and that's pretty much something that I've noticed, and the energy that we have on the shift with the officers. It's really good to work with a great group like that.
With the evenings, does it pose a little bit? I don't know. Is there more action? Would you say? And again, only 2 weeks, I understand, but a different kind of action.
Yeah.
Maybe not more necessarily, just different.
Yeah, it is a little bit different. I mean, it always seems like we have the domestic disturbances going on, no matter what hour of the day we have. Sometimes the crashes that we have, it's not just the fender benders anymore, because sometimes it's a little more alcohol involved, or we get some of the more of those serious types of issues. Sometimes there's some issues with some of the late night establishments with some of the patrons who are leaving, and maybe they might have had a little too much to drink. So sometimes we have some issues with that, with if they're a little loud when they're leaving and stuff. But it's never a dull moment. I mean, there's always seems to be something going on. I mean, in Elgin, we're doing a lot of positive stuff. Also, we do what we call premise checks, and we go check on our businesses that are open at night to let them know that, hey, we're here. If you need us, give us a call. I noticed that's one thing that's really been going on the midnight shift is all the officers are in their beats knowing what businesses are open, and the businesses know who their beat officers are. We just had an instance the other day, and I went to one of the local establishments, and the manager there is like, hey, where's Officer so-and-so at? Is he off tonight? And it was great to hear that officer was in that business, and that the business knew who their beat officer was. So, we're pretty proactive and, reactive at the same time, but being proactive really helps out.
We thought we'd talk to you a little bit. It's just, I don't know if it's more press on it or there's more happening, but since you've done this before and you've been a financial crimes officer, if you could talk a little bit about some of the scams that are going on out there and some of the financial crimes and just how to avoid being a victim.
Yeah, and there are a lot, and to say what's hot, what's not, that
changes daily, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's just whatever somebody can think of. If it's not some sort of home repair fraud scam, it's the IRS one that was going around, or it's the some sort of charity event that somebody wants you to donate to. And one of the best things is, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. And I've said that numerous times to a lot of my victims. You didn't win the lottery. It's $10 million. The email that comes through that says, hey, we want to deposit $1 million into your bank account, because you won this lottery. That didn't happen. Take a step back. I know you fill out the lottery forms because you think you're going to win or whatever, but take a step back. Don't give anybody your personal information.
The foreign lottery emails always get me. Like,
yeah.
How would you have ever...
Right. And you want
signed up for that,
$75 million, but give us $5,000 because we need that money in order to transfer the $75 million. That's just not how it goes. So I think if people just take a step back, don't give out their personal information, run their credit, They can run their credit. They get one each, a free credit report from each of the 3 credit bureaus every year. Run them on their children. Run them on, check them on any family members, on an elderly mom or dad or aunt or uncle who's around, grandparents. You can check that stuff, and you get it one free every year. So you look at it and you see what's on there, because sometimes even the fraudsters, believe it or not, they pay the bill for a little while. So you don't even notice it until it's a year down the road. They pay the minimum, and then they walk away with a $30,000 car. They pay the minimum, or they just charge up a credit card, get a credit card in your name. You don't even know anything about it because they're paying the minimum on it, and but they rack up $10,000, $20,000 worth of charges.
With each of the credit bureaus offering one free a year, do you recommend doing one every quarter? So start with one, and then 4 months later do the other, and then so that you're spacing it out, or should you do all 3 at once?
You can space them out. It's 6 to 1, one if doesn't of the other. They all report a little bit differently. So not all the credit agencies get all the same information. They all have their little tweaks that they do. So if you know what your major stuff is, that's what's going to be on there, and you can space it out whatever you like. Whatever makes you feel comfortable. You want to do them all once a year, do them all once a year. I space them out a little bit. I know what's going on. I can look at it. Luckily, knock on wood, I haven't had any issues. But you can space it out. And if that makes you feel better, by all means, do it. And anybody that comes to your house and says that, if you don't know about it, if there's somebody that says, hey, they're there from the cable company, or they're
water department,
anything, type of stuff, you can call us. If you just don't feel right about it, you didn't get a letter in the mail from the company that said that they were going to be there, and somebody's just knocking on your door, out of nowhere, call a neighbor to have them come over, to help you out. You can call us to come on over there and just say, hey, I just don't feel right about this, and we can help kind of set things straight.
Someone recently that was posted about someone came to the door and said that they were from ComEd and they were going out of business.
Oh no! I didn't see that one offhand. Right? As a ComEd's
going out of business,
right.
And they wanted to help them get their money back or something.
And they'll come up, and that's the scam. They just come up with anything they can to try to fool someone. And the phone ones are over the phone scams are always, they try to get your personal information. Hey, this is such and such bank, and somehow maybe they have, your information. Maybe they got it somewhere and say they know you bank at a certain bank. And they say, hey, we need to check your account. Well, you say, well, you know what, I don't feel that comfortable. Let me call you back, and you know your bank. You call your bank and see what they're up to. The bank never asks for anything personal over the phone. They have their ways of getting a hold of you.
How are these scammers able to change the caller ID feature?
Just with the way technology is these days, it's so easy. I don't know the technical way that they do it, but yeah, I'm sure there's a way.
That's scary.
Yeah.
You see a call coming in, and not, this isn't the case, but hypothetically, it could say Elgin Police Department.
Sure. Yeah, it could say anything. You can program it any way you want. You want it to come in. If they, with the way computers are and everything, I'm no computer expert, but you can program it and it can come up. It can say, whatever, the capital, Springfield or something along those lines, whatever it is. So, people trust that caller ID with that information, and I would tell people just, they look at it and it says, whatever bank on there. People can put whatever.
It's pretty darn convincing, though. I would have to say,
absolutely.
If I saw it come up, oh, gee, maybe I'll answer this.
Whereas
other times I might not if I don't recognize the number.
Exactly. And it's the same thing with the emails. The emails come up and they come up with the logo that looks close, and it's real good. And people who they look at their email, the bank sent me an email. It says I need to reset my password. It needs to say I'm doing this, that, or the other.
And there's a link in the site, and it takes you to a site that looks like it, but it's not the right site, and they then steal your username and password.
And get everything. And it only takes seconds for them to get the money out of it.
I work for a major telecommunications company, and we had that scam happen to us.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
People used to come in when I worked at the South Elgin location, and I just got this email. Thank you for coming in.
Yes.
How do you don't know who it went to.
No, you have no idea. And, like I said, you mentioned, people click on it and they're not looking at the, and I'm sure they can even hide where it's coming from, if they're really good at it. And people, they trust the computer. They think the companies, that the banks are out there, and the banks are out there protecting their people, but the people get these emails and they say, oh, I need to do this. It says I need to do that. I need to do this. Take a step back. Call them up. Take a second to make that phone call.
Now, Chief Swoboda, you had mentioned earlier that your Facebook page and the opportunity now that you'll give Christy maybe a couple minutes off a day. Because pretty much she was posting 24/7. It seemed like, and I saw the post this morning. I believe it was the second post from 3:11 this morning that the gates were now up and the car was off the track.
Yes.
I was, wait, what? and so that was actually Sergeant Rameljack.
Yeah, Todd has hopped on. He's volunteered to be a part of that. Volunteered. Made an offer he couldn't refuse. But no, he's good with it. And Todd's been a teacher at ECC for how many years now?
13.
13 years. Knows a lot of people in the community. Knows a lot of the kids. I mean, that was when we put him on Facebook announcing his promotion. I mean, it blew up. I mean, it was just constant congratulations. He's the reason I'm successful at school. He's the reason I want to be a police officer. And so he's already got a great online presence. A lot of people know Todd. And then also in the community. And so he understands social media, understands our philosophy that we're going to get the facts out as quickly as we can, but we always need to be observant of victims and victims' family and privacy. And so he gets all those things. So he's working with Christy and to make sure that we have a presence all the time online so that we can keep people knowing what's going on. So yeah, we're excited.
Yeah, it was my first one today. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to give this a shot. I've had permission for like a week to do this, and I'm like, you know what? This will be a great chance to do it. So
completely your discretion what you want to post or not to post.
Yeah.
That in itself has got to be a fairly difficult process to run through. Like, do I really need to post this? Should I post this?
Yeah.
Am I posting too much? Should I post more? Yeah, just all of it that goes into it.
Let me tell you, it was challenging, even that first little post there. I checked my spelling and my grammar. It said 3:11, but I think it happened at like 2 o'clock. But I made sure I checked that thing 3 or 4, for an hour.
You got the grammar police out there sometimes,
right. So I want to make sure, but like the chief mentioned, I think my role will be a lot about traffic. I think people like the heads up early on at 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm up at night. I might as well, be able to help out where I can. I really think we can, help everybody out if there's a traffic concern or something along those lines. Hey, we got a crash. Let Christy get some sleep. I'm no Christy. I don't know, on Facebook, but. Maybe get.
It was very factual. Yes. I would say that your post this morning very factual.
I was shaking a little bit. Maybe I shouldn't do it from the phone. Maybe I'll go to a computer and do it. I'm like, no, I'm out here. I'm just going to do it. I'll go from there. But I'm excited about it. And again, it's help people out, get the information out about what's going on over on the night shifts. Just to give them the heads up during and as they start their day.
Congratulations on the promotion.
Thank you very much. I'm really excited.
Yeah?
Yes, very excited.
That's cool.
So, thanks for having me today.
No, that's great. Jeff, anything you wanted to tie up the show with?
Yeah, I just want to say thank you to Second Baptist Church and many of the pastors.
Another loss for your basketball team.
That was going to be my last
thing.
Okay. Yes. We're still unwinless. Yeah. We're 0-2. We've asked for a rematch with the Boys and Girls Club last Friday night. We had about 10 officers go out and play. I think it was about 50 kids. I think they were all on the court at the same time, but sometimes...
It seemed like it, right? They're hard to keep up with it so fast.
At age, and it was great. It was the Boys and Girls Club. It was their teen night. A lot of people there to watch. The kids were fantastic. If you haven't been to the Boys and Girls Club anytime soon, you need to take a tour and see what they're doing. Part of their motto is, creating leaders, and it's exactly what they're doing, and it's a fantastic organization. So as much time as I can get over there, I do get over there, and we're going to play them again on another Friday night, I think, coming up. So, yep, we lost again, but that's okay. And then what I was saying was the Second Baptist. It's okay. Second Baptist Church hosted a community conversation, reference police and community relations. And so we're continuing this conversation. The next one is on May, I think it's 13th, but we'll announce it as we get closer. But all we're doing is, not all we're doing, but we're talking, and we're doing a lot of listening as well. And from the police department perspective, we're explaining to the community what's expected. This last one was basically a simple traffic stop. And Noble, members of the Noble organization, National Organization of Black Law Enforcement Executives, and we have officers within the police department who are on that, and actually on the board. They've been putting on this program for a while. What to expect on a traffic stop, what the person who stopped should expect from the officer, why we want to see your hands on the steering wheel before you reach in the glove box, all the things that just kind of an education. And just we had a nice conversation back and forth. I had some kids there, but not as many. We were hoping to get more of the 17 to 25-year-olds type of there. We had some. But we're hoping this next one we actually do more with that, because we want to talk more about just police and interactions. When kids are out with their friends and they interact with the police department, what should they expect? So sometimes people think, I didn't commit a crime, I don't need to talk to the officer. Well, that can be true, but it also cannot be true. You may not know what is going on, and an officer is showing up and asking you for your ID and what your name is completely exactly what that officer should be doing. And so you do need to listen to an officer. So it's just getting past the myth of, some people that are putting things out there saying, don't ever say anything to a police officer, you don't need to talk to a police officer. The nice thing is in Elgin we're not seeing a lot of that, although we come across things from time to time. And we're hoping that through these conversations with the community we continue to explain that we're all in this together, we're all on the same team here trying to make a safe community, and we get that way by talking. And what I was really proud of is on the first nice Saturday in March, really probably the entire year, I think it was 60 degrees out, and it was at noon. It was from noon to 2, and I walked in there and it was crowded. I think we had 170 people in there on a Saturday afternoon. And when I said it's great that we're having these conversations, things that the police department are doing very well and maybe things we can improve upon, but we're talking about them in a church on a Saturday afternoon and not in the street at midnight yelling at each other or that type of thing. So it was just a great time, and the community's really come forward. The Human Relations Commission, again, the pastors of Elgin have come forward. We're going to have a couple more of these. Many officers, all of our new officers there, our most recent police officers were all they didn't have a choice, but I told them they needed to be there. And again, so just thanks to everybody, my citizen advisory committee that deals with the police department and helps us along the way. So I think we're just going to continue having more and more of those, and forward to a fantastic summer.
It's getting about that time to have some walk and talks. I don't know
walk
if any
and talks
of those
are coming out,
but
oh yeah,
you got your monthly Chiefs. You got your Chiefs meeting.
Chiefs meeting, yep.
You got your coffee with a cop.
Coffee with the cops coming up.
You're out there. If anybody has questions,
absolutely, we're all ears. And say it, I take it from Dr. Sam, but the Elgin Police Department belongs to the people of Elgin, and if there are things that we're doing or we need to do better or we need to focus more on, let us know, and or at least come and explain. Let's talk about it. And I think that's kind of like we were talking about, kind of bring it back full circle with the Facebook page. It's the police department's Facebook page, but everything that we do belongs to the community. So if there's things that they want to see on the Facebook page or want us to do more of, just let us know, and we'll do that. And so
I know one of the things I always appreciate with your Facebook page, especially in the winter, and I know it has nothing to do with you, it's the updates from Snow Command.
Yeah.
It's the updates on what roads are, where they are in terms of plowing and what's going on with that. When there's a water main break, which again may not necessarily be police, that might be more public works, but there you guys are posting it. I utilize that stuff, it seems almost daily sometimes, and it's not yours.
Right.
So to offer some feedback, I love that stuff, and I know it's only going to make your jobs easier if more people know about to avoid this area, because now you don't have a traffic jam or possible accidents or other things that. Very proactive. I appreciate that.
I appreciate that. And the city manager, Sean Stiegel, has made it very clear that, he doesn't like to hear when there are things going on in the city that, that's public works, that's fire. We all represent the Elgin. And that comes from the mayor and the council as well, that, you shouldn't call a police department and us just refer you to somewhere else. It's kind of the genesis of 311, to make sure that people can have one stop. And so, it's the police department's Facebook page, but we've got, I think, probably the largest reach in the city right now online. And so we're going to put that out there as well, and we're going to duplicate. If the fire department had a fire the other day, we put that out on ours as well, and I know they put it on there. So it's we're really all in this together with it, and people should expect a city to work together the way we do work together in Elgin. It's a credit to the leadership of the city. So I'm very happy that we put those things out there. So it's great.
Last thing I wanted to talk about. I've kind of poked fun.
Okay, so we're done now.
I've kind of poked fun at it, but no, it's for a good. So you guys are selling a calendar,
yes.
A 2015 calendar that features Elgin Police personnel, and it is going to help the department's social services unit assist homeless individuals who may need public transportation. 12 officers in the calendar, or
No,
are there more,
probably
or?
40 or so, because there are a lot with like that second page. It's four.
You can see
all
here
four.
where there's 4 on one page.
Yeah,
Okay.
the commanders and deputy chief, and then our school resource officers together, our rope officers together, and this is Joanne Stingley and her social service unit, and they got together. And there are times when they're dealing with an individual trying to help someone, and they just need a cab ride someplace, and we don't have that kind of money. I mean, we don't have in our budget where we can pay for
You can't
people's
put it
cab
in a
rides,
police car and
we can't be
transport
transferring
them.
people all over. And so, bless their hearts, they're the ones who said, you know what, we need to have a fund here. So they said, you know what, we're going to donate our time. They're going to get pictures taken. We're going to put together a calendar. They got some sponsors out there, and any money they receive, it's going to go to help people get transportation to and from some of their services that they need. These are mostly for homeless individuals or people with no resources that the social services are trying to help. So just another showing of just people stepping forward to help other people, and the calendar is just kind of a fun way to do it. And
Yep.
so yeah, we get a lot of fun poking at us.
It's a calendar that runs February of this year, so it's already March, but that's okay. February of 2015 through January of 2016, and you can purchase those by going to emailing Sheldon, SHELDON _K at cityofelgin.org, or you can also call 847-289-2629. And I did see my favorite comment was somebody said that they may never move off the February page. I don't know who might be on February. I'm just saying.
Sure. I'm
yeah.
not sure either, but yeah. But it's
That was one of the comments on the Facebook
that
page.
was, yeah, that's always fun. But Christina and the rest of the girls down in social services and Joanne, I mean, they've just done a fantastic
You
job.
got them
And
in here. They're fantastic.
they're doing great work. So thank you to them, and any community that wants to support them, and thereby also helping some of the homeless in Elgin can buy a calendar and do what you want with it.
There you go.
There you go.
Elgin's Chief of Police, Jeff Svoboda, and newly promoted Sergeant Todd Rameljack. Thank you both for joining us today.
Thanks for having us.
Have a great weekend.
Thanks.
You too.
You're listening to AM 1410 WRMN.
And Elgin.